19 unsolved crimes that'll scare the hell out of you. Because real-life events are scarier than a horror movie. 1. Black Dahlia murder. In 1947, the body of a woman named Elizabeth Short was found in Los Angeles, her body mutilated and sliced in half at the waist. Her organs had been pulled out, her body drained of blood and posed in a provocative position. There have been many suspects, but the crime is still unsolved. 2. Boy in the box. A 4 to 6-year-old boy's naked, battered body was found in a cardboard box in Philadelphia in February 1957. He is often referred to as America's unknown child, because his identity still hasn't been confirmed, and the case is still open. 3. Uxman of New Orleans. From May 1918 to October 1919, a slew of murders occurred in Louisiana and Texas, many of them carried out with axes belonging to the victims themselves. Police never figured out if the killer was male or female, and some even believed the Uxman to be a supernatural force. 4. 2001 anthrax attacks. 1 week after September 11, 2001, several news media outlets and 2 Democratic U.S. senators received letters laced with military-grade anthrax that infected 17 people and killed 5 others. The motive for the anthrax mailings is still unknown. 5. The Kitty murders. In 1981, in Kitty, California, 3 members of the Sharp family and 1 family friend were bludgeoned to death with hammers, and 1 was stabbed repeatedly. Each body was bound with medical tape. To this day, no arrests have been made. 6. The children who went up in smoke. 5 of 9 children disappeared after a fire demolished the Sauter family's home in West Virginia on Christmas Eve 1945. The creepiest part? The children's remains still haven't been found, over 60 years later. 7. Bear Brook murders. The decomposing, beaten bodies of 4 unidentified murder victims were found in trash bags in 1985 and 2011 in Bear Brook State Park in New Hampshire. Today, police still do not know the names of the victims or the person who killed them. 8. The Dyatlov Pass incident. 9 hikers died of mysterious circumstances in February 1959 in the northern Ural Mountains. Evidence proved they'd torn their tents from the inside out, and their bodies showed no signs of struggle when they were found face down in the snow. 9. The Tamon Shud case. An unidentified man was found dead on a beach in Adelaide, South Australia, in December 1948. In his pocket was a piece of paper with the phrase Tamon Shud, which means ended or finished in Persian. An unknown poison was found in his body. 10. The Hinterkaifeck Farmstead murders. One night in March 1922, 6 inhabitants of Hinterkaifeck Farm in Germany were brutally murdered with a mattock. Over 90 years later, the mystery remains unsolved. 11. The disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley. Amy Lynn Bradley went missing from a cruise ship while on vacation in 1998, after stepping out of her cabin early in the morning for a cigarette. A credible witness claimed to have seen her in a restroom in Barbados in 2005, but no other evidence of her whereabouts has been offered up. 12. Highway of Tears murders. From 1969 until 2011, at least 18 women either were murdered or disappeared along Highway 16 in British Columbia while hitchhiking. A link to one killer was found in 2012, but police presume they won't ever find all of the suspects. 13. Kilakisari murder. The body of 17-year-old Olla Kilakisari was found in 1953 in a bog in Finland, after the girl was bicycling home from a prayer meeting. Suspects included a parish priest and a man who'd spent a lot of time at a local mental institution. 14. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann. In May 2007, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann disappeared from her hotel room in Portugal while her parents and their friends dined next door. The case was deemed an abduction, until an incorrect DNA test stated the girl died in the hotel room. The abduction case reopened in 2008. 15. The Lake Buddham murders. In June 1960, 2 teenage girls and 1 boy were stabbed and beaten to death with rocks in their tent at Lake Buddham in Finland. In 2004, the sole survivor, Nils Gustafsson, was accused of killing his friends because he wanted to have sex with one of the girls. He was found not guilty. 16. The original Night Stalker, East Area Rapist. From 1979 through 1989, a still unidentified man murdered at least 10 people and raped more than 50 women in Southern California. Years later, he called some of his victims, saying things such as "Merry Christmas, it's me again," and hanging up. 17. Villisca Axe Murders. In Iowa on the evening of June 9 and morning of June 10, 1912, 6 members of the well-liked Moore family and 2 of their guests were bludgeoned to death with an axe. There were quite a few suspects, but the crime still hasn't been solved. 18. The Houston Icebox Killer. In 1965, the body parts of Fred and Edwina Rogers were found inside their refrigerator, wrapped neatly on the shelves. Police believe their son, Charles Rogers, committed the crime. He hasn't been seen since the incident. 19. The death of Elisa Lam. The body of a Canadian student was discovered in the water tank of a Los Angeles hotel in February 2013, after she'd been reported missing for several weeks prior. Employees found her body when looking into guest complaints of problems with the water supply.